Podcast doesn't exist. Episode 26, man. Welcome to the latest edition. It's the Monday app. Great week of baseball last week. Great week of baseball this week. So we're kind of covering last week, then we're going to cover next week. We got to cover the present now. Team of last week was the Mets. We're just checking on the Mets. How are Mets fans feeling? Let's go open up the phone lines.
Another totally fucking feeble, goddamn motherfucking feeble fucking heartless fucking godless fucking goddamn motherfucking performance. They don't even give a fuck. They have no fucking heart. They're never gonna win another fucking game. They're not competitive. They're getting blown out every fucking game. Don Montas is here. Montas is here. Every game is in the Lord. I tell you,
And that's from Frank the Tank, and man, he makes a lot of good points in that, because if you look at the facts, a lot of facts can back that up. I mean, the Mets, on June 11th, they had the best record in MLB, number one team in the league. Since then, they've lost 8 of their last 9, so it's been a tough stretch for the Mets, man. Very tough stretch. 8 of their last 9. Odds to win the division have dropped 36% in 10 days. Back when they were on top, they had a 74% chance to win the division. They were projected to be the beast of the East over there, over the fighting Phils. Now it's only 38%. So they went from having a 5.5 game lead to being behind the Phillies in just 10 days. So the Phillies are the new first place team. You got to crown the Phillies as the beast of the East as of June 23rd. So the Mets, this is crazy, man. The Mets, if you look at the numbers, lowest ERA in baseball this year. So they got the best pitchers in baseball, according to ERA. They've shut everybody out. Over the last 10 games, they got an ERA over 5.7. That's third to last. Their relief ERA, second worst in the league. That's a 6.50, and that will do it, man. When you come out and you get a stretch and your pitcher just throwing meatballs down the middle, you got 5.7 and 6.5s. You're bound to lose 8 out of 9, especially when you're playing the freaking Braves and the Phillies. And that's what hurts most for them, because it's all been against the division rivals. They lost that first game of this bad stretch was to the Rays actually started off for him. The Rays took him behind the woodshed. Jack's Rays, man. Whew. Those guys are looking strong. They beat the Mets, and then Mets go in, get swept by the Braves, which hurts really bad because the Braves aren't doing much this year and really haven't done much since that either. But they did sweep the Mets. Then you go against the Phillies, and in Philly, you're a little worried what's going to happen. And we saw what happened. Phillies take 2 out of 3. Mets did get 1 win, and that's another thing. They had 7 home runs? What was it?
7 solo shots.
And that's the first time in baseball history?
Third time in MLB history where a team hit 7 only solo homers in a game.
Just single solo shots. 7 home runs in a game, that's a lot, but you still look at that. I mean, that's an offensive explosion, but you see where they ranked the last 10 games. It's 27th, even with a record-breaking day at the plate. They just demoted Francisco Alvarez, one of their top prospects from a few years ago. Highly touted guy, sent him down. Do they know why? Did they say a specific reason? I want to say defense was an issue lately.
His offense has been terrible. A few years ago, he was a 20-plus homer guy. Didn't hit for average, but if you're a catcher and you can hit 20-some homers, normally you'll stick. The power's gone down. His on-base skills haven't really come back up. His average is higher than it was in 2023, but nothing else is, and his defense has been rough.
Yeah,
I think they finally cut the cord and said, "You need some work."
When you say they cut the cord, it means that they were like, "Fuck, I'm never gonna see this guy again." He'll be back up.
He will. It kind of sucks. I feel like maybe even coming into the year, you would thinking Alvarez might be a top 5, top 10 catcher in baseball, and
yeah. I mean, before the year, if you would ask me who's going to have a better season, the big dumper or Francisco Alvarez, I'd say, I don't know, probably the big dumper, but I could see it going either way. And we don't have to talk about the dumpster yet, but that guy, did he break a record or something?
Crushed a record.
30 home runs before?
30 home runs before the All-Star break.
Is the most by a catcher? Is the most by a catcher?
Most by a catcher. And we're not even close to the All-Star game. We're still weeks away.
Respect it. You got to respect it. Lindor hit a home run and they lost. That's the first time in 28 games that Lindor has homered for the Mets and they lost, it was an insane streak they had going on. And it makes you worry when you're talking about mojo, Mets mojo. I mean, this is a team built on mojo. Now they want to say they're built on the fucking high payroll. They gave Soto $765 million. But we saw last year when the Mets are at their best, it's a team built on mojo. And relying on the mojo is good. Us, the Braves did in 2021 with Jock Peterson and the boys. But we saw when the mojo goes away, that can fizzle out. And so that's the question. Are the Mets, a team built on mojo, lose the mojo? Yeah, 8 out of 9 games is tough. But it happens. Happens to some of the best teams. You go on a bad stretch. But Lindor to hit a home run and them losing, that's not the Mets baseball that we know of the past. I want to say that streak goes into last year. But damn, 28 games in a row, Lindor hit a home run and they won. Not this time. So that's been established. The Mets are struggling right now. Lost 8 out of their last 9. Now, this was the best team in baseball just a few days ago. Now the fans, you hear what Frank said?
Another totally fucking feeble goddamn mother.
They're feeble. They're calling them feeble. Do I think they're feeble? I don't know, but I will tell you Frankie Montas looks a little feeble. The Frankie Montas is coming off the IL to pitch against the Braves on Tuesday. He has a 12 ERA and 6 starts in the minors so far this year. And that's Frankie Montas, who's coming off a bad year, a few bad years, and an injury, and really hasn't been good since 2022, the first half of 2022. He hasn't really been good since he was on the Oakland Athletics, and come on. That's not even a fucking team anymore. So whenever you're saying he hasn't been since the Oakland Athletics, it's kind of tough because they got some problems in that starting rotation for the Mets. Now, the Mets do have the number 1 starting rotation in the league, according to ERA. We all know that. If you're a fucking ball knower like me. But when you look at it, especially now, we got Senga on the IL. Taylor McGill just went on the IL. Sean Manaea is coming back in July. That's going to be big. Frankie Montas is coming back this week. Nobody trusts that guy right now, no offense. But, yeah, and then the guys who are healthy right now pitching for him, David Peterson, has had a great year. Doing amazing. Paul Blackburn. Not so amazing. Clay Holmes having a sneaky great year too. I think he's got like a 3 ERA. Griffin Canning came up hot. He has not been amazing the past few starts. So David Peterson, Paul Blackburn, Clay Holmes, Griffin Canning. That's the starting pitching the Mets are throwing out there right now. And I'd say that's what you have to be concerned of if you're a Mets fan. Is it time to panic? They're going into a 3-game series with the Braves. 4-game series with the Braves, who just took him behind the woodshed and slapped him in the face for 3 games in Atlanta. Now they're going to New York, but I don't know. What do you think, Mitch? Are you worried about the Mets? Have you? Obviously, you can't say the Braves are better. The Braves suck cock still, but in the Mitchell Power Rankings, Beast of the East Power Rankings presented by Gillette, Coca-Cola Raytheon. Do you have, what's your Beast of the East Power Rankings? Who's number 1, Phillies or Mets?
I would still give it to the Mets. I know the pitching hasn't been good, but they are getting Manaea back. Soto's really hot right now. It's funny, the Mets have basically pulled what the Braves did when Acuna came back. Soto gets hot, and the Mets go, oh, we don't need to do anything anymore.
Yeah, I know, right? Like the Mets were just the best team in baseball, and Soto sucked and had a bad attitude. And as soon as he started having fun, they just started to be terrible. Same thing thing with Acuna. Soto right now, according to Baseball Reference, has the highest WAR in the Mets, which is hilarious because 80% of the year it's been how much of a disappointment this guy's been. He's got the best WAR on a second place team, but still 46 wins for the Mets, second place team. That's what the second best record in the AL, third best record in the NL. 4th best record in the league. So it's not like the Mets are dead by any means. They're in a great spot. But it's just looking a little rougher, man. And I would be a little concerned with those pitchers, dude. That's why I would put the Phillies ahead of them. Like I'm way more scared of facing the Phillies just because of the starting pitching. And yeah, I'd take the Mets lineup over the fighting Phils, especially because Harper's hurt and he looks like 50 years old. Do you see that picture of Bryce Harper on the MLB ad campaign?
He looks old. People were saying it was the raw milk that got to him.
Yeah. I mean, guy did acai bowls and smoothies all off season. Now he's hurt and he looks like he's 60 years old. That's what I'm saying. Like the Phillies, when we're talking about losing their mojo, we've already covered that. They've kind of gone away from their blue collar roots or whatever. But yeah, David Peterson, Paul Blackburn, Clay Holmes, Griffin Canning. They also got Senga on the IL. I think Senga comes back and he'll be all right. But that's a little longer too. Wouldn't they say it was like a 2-month injury?
They were saying for Senga they were reassessing in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
But like I really don't know how much you can say, oh, his hamstring's fine. He hasn't thrown a ball in 3 weeks. Put him back on the mound right now.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. Man, I'm not pitching ninja or anything, but David Peterson and Clay Holmes, who have put up amazing seasons, I wonder how legit they are. Like, how confident are we that David Peterson's going to keep throwing a sub-2 ERA and Clay Holmes is going to keep a 3 ERA? That's what it's going to take for this team to stay at number 1 in ERA rankings. It's just, to me, that doesn't match up. How they're the best starting staff in baseball according to the stats, and then you look at the guys on the team, which makes you think R word is coming. Jack, what's the R word?
This feels like a trap.
It was, bro. It's called regression.
Oh, no, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, regression. Like that's the R word in baseball. You don't want to hear that, regression. But I think the Mets are due for a little regression in that starting staff. I don't look at them as the number 1 staff. I look at the Phillies with like 6 starters deep. You put them head to head in a matchup, I got to give it to the Phillies. We saw it this weekend, Mitch, 2 out of 3 in Philadelphia, and now they're going to the Braves. It's becoming a bigger and bigger series by the day. The Braves, and I think they beat the Braves, if I'm being completely honest. Because I don't know if Braves just lost Chris Sale, which hurts bad. So what was the deal with the Chris Sale injury?
So Chris Sale goes out for the 9th inning. He already had like 100 pitches against the Mets. He gets Soto to ground out, but it's a softly hit ball, and if it goes to second base, Soto's reaching. So Chris Sale goes all out, dives for the ball, makes a great play, gets the first out, gets another out, strikes out Pete Alonso, gives up a hit, comes out of the game. Great start, 8 2/3, scoreless baseball. Then 2 days later, the Braves announced that he has a fractured rib cage.
I don't understand how you fracture your rib. He didn't even react when it happened.
I mean, he's got no fat to protect himself.
And he played not the next day, but he pitched like the.
Ooh, no, that'll do it.
He didn't leave the game.
No, he pitched to 2 more batters.
Yeah, that's a guy the Braves cannot fucking afford to lose.
They're turning to a 20-year-old named Didier Fuentes.
I saw that guy. I mean, they called up Fuentes before we ever heard about Chris Sale. I was like, who the
He turned 20 a week ago. He made 1 start in AAA. He has like a 5-something ERA in the minors.
Oh my God,
He looks like a baby.
Yeah, I saw him after he gave up like 4 runs to Marlin, 4 runs over like, I don't know. It wasn't a great start, but in the dugout looking so happy. I was like, I don't know if this is the guy we want to be putting out here. Just gave up like 4 runs to the Marlins and we're losing, and you're looking like it's the best day ever. I mean, respect to him. Got called up at 20 years old. I don't think he was expecting it. What a dream come true for the Fuentes family.
Do you see his dad also, he came up from Colombia to watch his son pitch. Before Fuentes even took the mound, his dad caught a foul ball.
Respect it. Gotta respect it, because there's not many fans in Miami. Jack, your Miami Marlins beat our Braves, man.
Yup.
Jack's a Pirates fan.
Jack is a Rays fan.
I'm actually a diehard Pirates fan, and I've always been a schemer. That's kind of just how I live my life, so.
You don't scheme on skeins.
Also, Jack's
Scheme-
back.
scheme.
Oh, yeah, I have returned after really long and grueling contract negotiations. We landed on a number that I think we're all happy with. We don't need to disclose it, of course. It's kind of private.
You got
but
a 10-day contract, and
Jack is working for free.
Yeah, you're about to be out of here if you keep this up.
I think the agreement was $14 an episode for a 200-year contract, and if I don't fulfill it, then I owe the back pay on it. So it's
You're on league minimum.
Good deal.
You're on league minimum.
Also,
that's right. You're still on your rookie
You're
deal.
paying me like what, 20,000 from the last 2 episodes. So man, it's gonna be a rough time for you.
Yeah, I don't know why I offered you $10,000 an episode to edit it, but you didn't even do that good of a job, to be honest.
For real, last 2 podcasts sucked dick.
The people were unhappy.
I was so pissed.
People were very unhappy.
I was so pissed watching them back. I'm like, who fucking edited this shit?
And that's why Jack is back working for free.
I was like, you didn't even make me look good. Like, cause when Jack's here, we get makeup. He gets me dolled up. Like, he'll hook it up. Like we do. Like, but Mitchell can't do it. Like he's not.
I said I'm not
a
touching your
makeup
face,
guy.
Joey.
Mitchell's not. A makeup
you could
guy.
tell I threw some bronzer on Joey, which is why he looks a little bit tanner than normal.
Yeah. So welcome back to Jack, and he did bring the tan shit because he needed to make up for his absence. But I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. The Mets aren't feeling as good. The Braves are feeling, I don't know. Like we were feeling really good, and what about Strider? Strider's had a few good starts.
Yeah, his velo's not quite to where it was in 2023, but
he looks vintage. He's striking motherfuckers out. They're not hitting it.
Looks really good.
He struck out 13 against the Rockies, and he shut the Mets down over 6 innings. He gave up 1 run, 8 strikeouts. And, that's going to be, like I said before, Strider was probably the biggest X factor for me on this team. Because if you get the Strider of old, you just added a number 1 starter when you already got a Cy Young. Now you got 2 number 1 starters, and that can't hurt. Or you come back to Tommy John, you're throwing, limp biscuits on the field and you're getting bombed for a 5 ERA and you're 0-5, like how it started. That's the opposite. Now we have a former number 1 starter who's a number 5 starter. And who we got? Ronaldo Lopez is hurt. Our boy's on the IL. Our other boy, Smith Shaver, he's not here to help. And now we lost Chris Sale. That just makes it that much more important for my man Spencer Strider to rock cock tonight, even though he's not pitching tonight. He is pitching against the Mets. We do have a good pitching matchup. I will say this: the Braves swept the Mets, and we got pretty lucky on pitching when it comes to these series. I think it was Sale, Schwellenbach, and Strider last time. This time it's going to be Schwellenbach and Strider, then our boy Fuentes. And we're facing Paul Blackburn, Ball, and Frankie Montas. So, I don't know. We might sweep him again.
I feel like Frankie Montas against the Braves is just asking for 7 shutout innings.
Shut up. I honestly look at his minor league numbers are so bad. I think it's going to be an interesting performance, but I'm sure they're not. I don't know how many innings they're going to let him pitch. You can't expect him to come back, and it's not going to be 7 scoreless. I'll put my life on that. They're not going to let him pitch 7 innings, even if he's shut out for 6. They're like, yo, we can't let. They're not going to let him go through 3 times, unless it's a blowout. Look at the stats, man. You heard what Frank said about him? Frankie Montas! But yeah, I was saying they're going to lose 14 in a row, the Mets. They didn't do that, so we got to tip their cap a little bit, give them a little bit of credit. We'll see what happens tonight. What else happened in the NL East, the Beast of the East? What are your power rankings right now, Mitchell, for the Beast of the East? We just saw. I'll just ask you a question and just not let you respond. I'm just going to keep talking. We saw the Nationals. They're in the East, right?
They are in the East.
A little bit of a tough go lately.
A little bit. But, it's not the coaching. It's never the coaching.
I wouldn't blame the coaching.
It's never on the coaching.
I wouldn't blame the coaching. I was hanging out with some Nationals fans this weekend, and I heard that Davey Martinez is actually a good manager and that the GM really, really likes him, and that Mike Rizzo, the GM of the Nationals, went on the radio, 106.7 The Fan, and said that he loves Davey Martinez. He's a great manager, and that he's the man. So that makes you think he's not going to get fired. And then I was like, what the fuck is he supposed to say? Obviously, you're going to say that about the manager. Either way, freaking MLB thought it was a good idea to send the Nationals, who's lost 20 out of 22 games since, hey, go to LA, play the Dodgers, who are the best team of all time, and Shohei Ohtani's on the mound. What's the worst that could happen?
They didn't get swept.
They lost 2 out of 3. But the big story in that series was Shohei Ohtani pitching again. Second performance was better than his first. 2 strikeouts. Fastball was down 1.2 miles per hour, but his spin rate was up. He found out his sticky stuff formula. He's got the perfect sticky stuff formula because even though his fastball is down almost 1.5 miles, his RPM's up 121. A little suspicious for Shohei, but fuck it. Everyone's doing it. Might as well. Strikes out 2, pitches 1 inning, shuts him down, then goes 2 for 4, scores 3 runs, hits a triple and a home run, and has 5 RBIs. So that's just another vintage Shohei Ohtani performance that we remember of old.
I was really disappointed in Dave Roberts. After watching the Braves get destroyed by a terrible team, flipped over. I was like, at least I can watch Ohtani. I missed the first inning, but thank God
No.
he'll be on the mound in the second inning. He only threw 18 pitches. Surely he's going to pitch again.
Yeah,
Then come out for the second inning. What the hell?
that is weird. I think he would, but I mean, isn't that the point of building up?
Right.
Now they're building down. Jinx! You owe me soda. Building down. Look at us, dude. We have such good chemistry so already. Only episode 26 for finish each other's sentences. But yeah, 18 pitches. Ramp it up for Shohei. Maybe he could pitch in like 3 days. I'd be curious to say. I mean, I feel like this one, he pitched on Monday, last Monday.
Yeah, so he pitched
Sunday.
6 days.
Usually he pitches like once a week, right?
Why'd you say Shohei? Because he's Bay?
Yeah, the Shohei. Well, Shohei is really, that's what they call the fans of Shohei. The Shohei.
Shoheis?
Yeah. B-A-E. Shohei. Because they love him so much, they adore him, and they want, he's cute.
I feel like showheads.
The showheads. Yeah, but it doesn't fit like his energy, which is like very cute. Shohei has one of the cutest auras.
He does.
Like, you never see him crash out. Bro is just... Sorry.
We need a video of Ohtani seething in the dugout like we do of Ichiro when they played Korea. Because I know that...
No, it
Ohtani
has
that
happened in the
energy.
World Series, right? Where the umpire made a bad call in the World Series where Shohei just got started screaming at the umpire. He got like called out at third or some base running thing.
Oh, no, wasn't that when against the Padres when the third base umpire got in the way and the ball hit off of the
Yeah.
umpire?
Shohei screamed at him in a moment of weakness. He probably sent him a bouquet of flowers, edible arrangement. What else do umpires like? Prostitutes, all that stuff.
Oh. Whistles. I feel like they don't use whistles, but they probably love whistles.
Yeah, umpires are cops. Every umpire, if they don't make the major leagues, they become cops. If you get an umpire out in public, like they really still will start like they don't ever see an off-duty umpire.
I don't know if I'd know.
Well, yeah, exactly, but like a lot of them still act like they're on duty. That like you would know because they'll start explaining you rules. Like, hey, get back in the box. They like to control things. They like to be in charge. They're the authority. You got to respect the authority. Did you see that coach of Coastal Carolina get ejected in the College World Series? Shout out to the LSU Tigers. They won the College World Series again. It seems like they win it every single year. They took 52,000 Jello shots, which I'll add is fucking disgusting. But yeah, 52,000 Jello shots for LSU fans at the College World Series at Rocco's $5 Jello shot challenge. 52,000 Jello shots from LSU fans. The second place team was Arkansas, 9,000. They fucking 5x'd Arkansas.
This video's wild.
I think you buried the lead on the Coastal Carolina coach, Joey, because the umpire tripped in the argument, and then after the game, so this coach is going to get suspended for it, even though this was the final.
For assault.
And he said, it's not my fault that the umpire is uncoordinated.
Yeah. Who the...
I don't know what's going on out there.
He knocked his ass over, but they ejected him for like no reason in the first inning. But did he actually touch him? The guy just went
No, not at all.
stumbling like crazy.
No, I'm pretty sure he just tripped.
Hey, man, college baseball this year has been a lot of fucking hot-headed 50-year-old men just like blowing shit at employees of the stadium. But South Carolina loses it, man. Lost to LSU. LSU wins it again. SEC, don't mess with me. And that does it for the 2025 college baseball season. A lot of great... What was your favorite moment of the college baseball season, Mitchell?
I don't think I watched it.
Oh, well, Jack, then I'll talk to someone who actually knows ball. Jack, what was your favorite moment of college baseball 2025?
Did you see there was the Tigers game where the coach was like running at the umpire, and then the umpire he fell, and everybody was like, "Did he push him?" And since it's still out, but it didn't look like he pushed him at all. They ejected him. It was like the first inning, and it was
So
like
that was the number, and that was the last game of the year. So go out with a bang, the grand finale.
that was the highlight for me.
Respect it. Big ups to the man.
Can't do that.
Chet Hanks in the building.
Thank you. I was at Secrets in Ocean City a couple of nights ago, so I know the Jamaica, man. It's the number one Jamaican bar in the world. Look it up. Real Jamaican. What's the word? It's
What are you trying to say right now?
when something's authentic. The most authentic Jamaican spot, bar type scene in America is Secrets in Ocean City. But moving on. Red Sox. We had a Red Sox series. We had a Red Sox Giants series out there in San Francisco. And Devers, man, this Devers story is the story that keeps on giving. We got some more reports. So just to recap you what's going on since the Devers trade and the stuff going on behind the scenes in Boston. It's been pretty ugly, man. It's been a very tough week to be a Boston Red Sox fan. All right. So one report says that Devers was willing to play first base, but wanted the team to commit him at that position going forward. Another report says that there's a rift between Alex Cora and Scott Breslow, too. There's another report that said that Breslow fired a scout for calling him a fucking stiff on a Zoom. That sucks. Report coming out of Boston that they made one guy go through 5 rounds of interviews. All were AI. They never talked to one Red Sox employee. Another report says that when Devers was asked to take grounders at first and third this spring, he said no and demanded a trade immediately. But that conflicts another report that says that Devers never requested a trade, and that was all the Red Sox decision. Jeff Passan had a report coming out at ESPN. Apparently, the Red Sox ran a computer model that says Devers DHing would give them the best shot at contending. He wanted to ease into the role and play the field a few times a week, but they said no. So Devers, according to this report, was down to DH, but just wanted to ease into it, play a little bit of field. Red Sox said no, and that cost them their best player. Another report coming out of Boston, Devers was willing. We already read that one. Another report, but Red Sox were upset with Devers because he refused to do post-game interviews on NESN. There was a clip of he had a walk-off home run, and then for some reason Duran does the interview. Why not? According to this report, Devers did not want to do post-game interviews with NESN. Which of those reports do you believe?
I mean, if you hit a walk-off homer and you're not the post-game interview, I very much believe that.
Maybe his wife didn't want him to see the tattoo.
Yeah, new tattoo, kind of ugly.
Could have been a new tattoo type thing. You never know. You never know what's going on with these guys behind the scenes. Okay, if you're cold, they're cold. That's what I say about MLB players. If they're cold, let them inside. Well, somebody let Devers inside. He's looking for a home. The Giants are that team. But David Ortiz fucking hates this guy's guts. David Ortiz wants Devers to die. He wants to murder Rafael Devers, which is crazy because when it started, Ortiz came out and was saying stuff. His original quotes were you gotta feel for Devers, but he's got to take responsibility. You work for this team. You're kind of indebted to them. You got to do the position. If you don't listen to the team, this is what's going to happen, guys. He's a good guy, but whatever. He's totally flipped that and is like, fuck Devers. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but he comes out saying Red Sox did not disrespect Devers. Devers disrespected himself. He comes to spring training out of shape and being the third baseman with the worst defense. They sign a gold glove and he won't accept another position. So David Ortiz, quote, Red Sox didn't disrespect Devers. Devers disrespected himself. Then he started posting pictures of their screenshots of their texts, how he never responded to his texts. Then he posts a picture. David Ortiz makes a pretty funny fucking post, honestly. It's like a Snapchat of him in front of his number. They have not a statue, but a statue-esque type tribute at Fenway Park for David Ortiz. He takes a picture in front of it and says, the thing is, to get one of these at Boston, you have to not just be a hitter, you have to be the full package, an all-around player. Go Sox.
These comments to me were so funny because it's David Ortiz, who his whole thing was being out of shape, and then being the full package. Dude was a DH. He played first base 3 times a year.
Yeah, David Ortiz is the most quintessential DH of all time. Like, he's the best DH ever. He is a DH.
He's acting like he was playing around the diamond, like when he signed with the Red Sox in 2003. He
Hey.
told Theo, "I'll play anywhere. Put me in left field," and he just happened to be the DH.
But David Ortiz did play a lot of first base. Granted, I think he came up playing first base, so that might be a little different. Either way, I hate to see Big Papi, who seems to get along with everybody. I mean, except the guy who shot him in the Dominican Republic. That's a different story.
No, they're cool now.
Well, I heard that guy's dead now. If they asked me at the beginning of spring training, yes, I would have. So another report. That was Devers. So Devers has come out and since interviews saying that if the Red Sox would have asked him to play first base at the beginning of spring training, he would have done it. So that kind of makes it seem like they asked him, which is weird as fuck. It's like when did they sign Bregman? Was that during spring? Was that
February?
So was that during spring training? As soon as he signed
was
Alex Bregman,
really
you know for a
close to
fact he's going to be DH. So I find it hard to believe they signed Bregman, and then like a couple weeks later, we're like, Devers, by the way, DH, man. Which I would kind of believe, maybe, but like that would be really bad look on the front office and the Red Sox communications, whatever it is, Scott Breslow specifically, to not tell Devers he's going to be DH, even though you know for a fact that Alex Bregman's on your team.
So Bregman signed February 15, which is right around pitchers and catchers reporting. But that is the whole thing, that Breslow didn't communicate that he was planning on moving Devers off third base the whole time.
Well, the difference is in San Francisco, they must be very good at communicating in San Francisco, because he's already said he's down to play whatever position they want. He's already taking ground balls. First game, we already covered this. Standing ovation. Beautiful. Had a double. 111 miles per hour off the bat. 2 for 5 with a double. Then he goes against the Red Sox. 2 for 12 against the Red Sox this weekend. But he hits his first ever home run as a Giant off his former team. Rubs it in their face a little bit. And the Red Sox lose the series. They lose the series to Devers and his new team. That's a tough series to lose. They lose 2 out of 3 to San Francisco and Rafael Devers. Now they might trade fucking Jaron Duran, apparently. That's the new trade. Red Sox are just money-balling it up. Let's get Jaron Duran out of here. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure Red Sox fans are really happy this series is over. We can get past the Devers shit. They'll probably never really actually get past the Devers shit because it's going to be a discussion all year, but it's not going to be the name front page news every fucking day. What does Devers say? What is Big Papi saying? Which former Red Sox player who's going to come out and make some comment? What is he paid by the team or not paid by the team? Oh, no, another report. We got another report. I'm waiting for another report coming out, dude. The reporting on this story has been thick. But are the Red Sox better without him, Mitch?
Not this year. Like, I really don't believe Breslow's quote. Like, I think we would have, at the end of the year, we'll win more games than we would have without Devers. I mean, short sample, but they lost a game because Devers homered against the Red Sox. They lost that game by 1 run. So, can already put 1 in the book for a loss that they wouldn't have lost without Devers. Maybe in the future, like, I do understand that for a guy like Devers, who's a DH only at this point, his contract is going to age badly, and the Red Sox are going to be able to use that money elsewhere. But just for this season, I mean, they sent down a guy they acquired. The other guy's injured. Like, this is not going to be a good trade this year.
Sucks to suck, Red Sox fans. I mean, I mean, that's true. The only thing that they can hang their hat on, or at least hope, is that, like, the clubhouse didn't like Devers. They didn't respect him at all because he wouldn't play first base. They didn't like his team guy, and he was killing the energy in the clubhouse, and the players, like, just rather play without him, even though he's the best player. But, like, from a baseball perspective, shout out to Baseball Prospectus, but not Baseball Prospectus. Baseball Perspective, when it comes down to the numbers, they are not going to be a better team without Devers. Maybe in the future, maybe in a few years when they have all that extra cash they could just throw around at their next DH. But now they're putting Jaron Duran at DH. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, which is funny because Jaron Duran is like one of the fastest players in the league. But yeah, they had to. He played a game at DH. He said, I'll play whatever position you want me to. Team guy. It's all about the team. All about the team. So remember last weekend, our last Monday episode, what happened was it was like the sweep weekend. Everybody got swept. This weekend, only one sweep. Do you know who it was? Sorry, it's on the fucking notes.
Milwaukee Brewers.
So you know what? See, like I should ask Jack. We were supposed to come up with questions and quizzes for Jack or baseball homework.
I have a feeling you could come up with some on the cuff, dude. Or off the cuff.
The baseball homework?
Who is the all-time leader in homers, Jack?
Babe Ruth.
He played for your Pirates.
Damn. That's not going to help him at all. It's definitely going to hurt him.
Barry
Bonds.
Here's another hit. Barry Bonds. Why did they ever call him Barry Bombs?
Maintaining my strength and my stamina during the whole year.
Well, the Brewers swept the Twins, which was the series everybody was talking about. The Brewers swept the Twins. The Brewers are now the hot NL Central team. They're making a run at first place. Probably won't get there, but they're running a run at the wild card. They are in second place now, only 3.5 games back of the Cubs after winning 4 in a row. And it has a lot to do with this fucking little freak. They got this pitcher in Milwaukee who is a freak of all freaks. This is a 6'7" praying mantis striking out everybody in MLB. Jacob Misiorowski. How do you say it?
Misiorowski.
Jacob Misiorowski. Say it again one more time, Mitchell. Misiorowski.
Let me Misiorowski.
Mosiorowski.
Misiorowski.
It threw me off because I misspelled it with an O. Jacob Misiorowski. Jacob Misiorowski. This guy throws 96 mile per hour. And they're sliders. His slider goes up to 96 miles per hour. Is that not the fastest slider of all time?
Surprisingly not.
Well, if you look at Savant, they'll say there's 99 mile per hour sliders. Then you watch them, they're not fucking sliders.
I mean, that's...
Is that what you're basing that off, Savant?
I went on Savant, I looked up sliders, and I watched like all of them, and none of them looked like sliders to me. But even Misiorowski's slider doesn't slide that much, so I don't really know.
Show me a faster slider, motherfuckers. I want video proof of a 96 mile per hour slider. This guy's throwing 96 mile per hour sliders. They're nasty as shit. But his arms are so long. That's the thing. This guy's 6'7". He's a legit praying mantis. That's even crazier. Like, I think his extension is the number one in baseball. He's releasing it so close to the player. By perceived velocity, these 96 mile per hour sliders actually look like 99 mile per hour sliders. So anyone's facing him. He also throws 102 miles per hour. On top of that, he threw a 94 mile per hour changeup. This freak. And his slowest pitch. Ooh, bad voice crack. Bad voice crack. His slowest pitch is his curve. It's only 88 miles per hour, and it is the second fastest curve in MLB. He got called up 2 weeks ago in his first start. This guy had a no-hitter, right? Didn't give up a hit for 5 straight innings. Unhittable. Then got hit by a comebacker and left the game. That ruined his no-hitter, just getting nailed in the arm or something.
No, he twisted his ankle on the pitch.
Oh, so he didn't actually get hit.
I'm not surprised. He commits real hard every time he throws. He's like flying off the mound.
So you think he's gonna get Tommy John?
No, I get why he's throwing his whole body into it. He twists an ankle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so 5 straight innings of no-hit baseball, then gets injured, has to leave the game. Ruins his debut, but it wasn't a big deal because he came out for his second start, threw 6 perfect innings in his second start before giving up a walk. So he had 11 no-hit innings in a row to start his career. No starter in MLB history has done that. 11 no-hit innings to start his career. First player to ever do that. So far in MLB, he has more wins than he has hits allowed. And he's the 7th all-time in pitches thrown 101 miles per hour or faster by a starter. He's been in the MLB for 2 weeks, and he's 7th all-time for 101 plus mile per hour pitches as a starter. Since they started tracking that in the StatCast era or whatnot. But yeah. And then guess who he's pitching against?
Paul Skeens.
On Wednesday. So Jacob Misiorowski, best pitcher in baseball. versus Paul Skeens, former best pitcher in baseball. Because I think we gave it to Paul Skeens last week, man. Because I think he deserved it, but like that was before this kid just showed up. I mean, this kid, I don't know, found this kid out of like a community college.
Yeah, he signed after like his freshman year at a community college for $2 million in the second round.
Beast.
Went to some school in Missouri called Crowder College.
I know Crowder.
Yeah. What do you know about it?
The name?
Crowder University. You do not know it.
No, I do. It's like I lived there for a bit, so it's a
Oh,
community
yeah,
college that people go and burn out to. But you don't really go to that community college thinking, you know what? When I leave here, $2 million.
You're right. He left the community college with $2 million. Yeah. Shout out to community college. I went. That's how I got so smart, motherfuckers.
It's Misiorowski, is that what it is?
Misiorowski.
Mm-hmm.
Polish power, baby.
Is that what he is? A Pole?
It sounds very Polish.
I don't like
If
him
you're
anymore.
6'7", you are a pole. 6'7", he's like 100 pounds.
Chill out, Mitch. He's a Pole in multiple ways. Fuck, man. Pole.
I really don't get how batters hit him. His extension is top in the league. He's throwing 102.
It's one of those things where if he was throwing 91 miles per hour, he'd still be hard to hit because he's 6'7" and you're not used to hitting that angle. I'm sure it's awkward as fuck actually facing a guy who throws like that. And on top of that, he has the best velocity of any starter ever, and he throws 96 mile per hour sliders. I don't know if the only thing that can beat this guy is Tommy John. That's the only thing that's going to beat him. Who's going to hit him? Or walks? That's his issue, is walks?
His issue is walks, but like, I think the reason batters walk against him is they never see the ball to begin with.
I know. Effectively wild, too.
His biggest enemy is probably like low door frames, though.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Jacob Misiorowski. So any predictions for that? The Paul Skeens Misiorowski? Misiorowski?
I will
Misiorowski.
say there will be 2 total runs scored all game.
I would love it if it was just a blowout. I hope it's in the afternoon.
It is. It's like a 1 p.m. game.
2 p.m. 1 p.m. local time. I'm not calling out Mitchell for being wrong. We will give him that. It's 1 p.m. local time. So yeah, it's technically 2. You were wrong, but 1 p.m. local time. You're a Central guy yourself. You used to be a Michigander, so
No, I've never lived in the Central
okay. Well, yeah.
Eastern time zone my whole life except for 2 years in the Philippines.
Respect to the Philippines. Nothing but respect for the Philippines. All right, we don't have any more topics on the docket right now, but I mean, there's definitely more to cover if you just want to spitball.
I mean,
What
while
happened
we're on
with-
the Pirates, let's talk about what happened on Thursday's
I
doubleheader.
don't even know what happened on Thursday's doubleheader. Barely, other than I know that their fans were freaking out. I mean, the Flares were freaking out at fans.
So the Pirates, it was a doubleheader. It was a delayed game. It started late. In the second game, Dennis Santana got into an altercation with a fan who's wearing, I think he's wearing a Clemente jersey. So he's a Pirates fan in Detroit.
Bad.
He comes up, he tries to swipe at this fan. And then he goes and pitches 2 innings later.
He pitched that
He
game.
pitched that game.
So you fucked up a fan, went back in the fucking game. That's like, I mean, everyone's seen like Ron Artest, like the Ron Artest going to the fan and fucking up a fan, and then just like going in and checking in and playing the game. Like, what do you mean?
It probably wasn't on the broadcast, I would imagine.
The thing is honestly, if you're not in the game, you can't get ejected from the game. I guess you can, but like, if he was playing, like if he was a third baseman and he did that, they'd eject him. Would they?
I mean,
It's funny because like you should get ejected for punching a fan.
yeah.
You should. But I feel like for some reason in the baseball zeitgeist, like if you get in a fight with a fan, that's like something that you got to deal with, but MLB afterwards like get suspended. The umpire is not really going to eject you unless you're arguing with him. That's why umpires are super sensitive. Unless you like throw at somebody else or argue with the umpire, they don't really eject you for anything.
So you think if Dennis Santana maliced at the Palace went up and and then the umpire at second base would go, Interesting. And then not do anything?
Honestly, bro, I think they'd eject you if you went up in the stands.
I think.
But
I
we
think-
just saw a guy do it. Umpires were not there to see it. They need to have some undercover umpires in the crowd to make sure shit like this doesn't happen.
You think he's the bat boy? He's actually the undercover umpire.
Undercover umpire. That's actually a genius.
So that later that same game, after another rain delay, Tommy Pham's in the on deck circle, and he starts like getting into it with multiple fans. He gets all 3, 4 fans ejected, and then
He got him ejected.
yeah, he was like pointing at like all of these fans. Jake Rogers said he heard the conversation, the Tigers catcher, and he said, "I'll let Tommy Pham tell what happened." And then Tommy Pham said, "Nah, I got places to be." He didn't tell the story.
Why would you?
I mean, bro, if I overhear Tommy Pham doing anything, I'm just gonna be like, you don't have to talk to Tommy Pham. Ain't no way I'm talking shit about Tommy Pham.
Don't talk shit about Tommy Pham or his teammate.
Tommy
But that's
Pham.
what happens, man. You get a rain delay doubleheader. Everyone's hammered. That's when this kind of stuff happens. Stadium's empty because it's late. It's a doubleheader. Everyone there is drunk and they're getting really close. I don't know what that means.
Oh, the mic, yeah,
Okay.
position it and lower it.
That's when this kind of stuff happens and it gets dangerous.
So now we've had a Pirates player fight with a fan, a Pirates usher fight with a fan. Is Bob Nutting going to come down from the front office and get into it with a fan?
He loves the fans, and the fans love him. But I mean, you're understanding it. It's been a bad year for Pirates fans. They're getting beat up by their own players. They're falling out of the fucking stands, and I don't know the update on that guy, but they're getting beat up by the usher. I think he was doing well, right? Whatever happened to him?
The fan?
Yeah, the fan who fell out of the stands. Did
I mean, he's still alive.
respect it. But yeah, so Pirates fans. Let's do a recap of Pirates fans this year. One of them fell out of the stands. Got really seriously hurt. One of them got beat up by an usher. Didn't get seriously hurt, but could have got seriously hurt. One of them got told to suck his dick by Tommy Pham. Told the fan to suck his dick. I don't know if that was in Pittsburgh. And then one got beat up by their own player. Damn, Pirates suck ass.
Oh,
Unless you got the scheming skeins. Or what'd you call it? What are the skeins fans called? You're scheming on skeins?
scheme.
Oh, you're a
Scheme
skeins. You're a skeen schemer. You're a skeen schemer. All right. Well, let's get to some fan questions.
This is going to be the shortest episode in PD history.
Yeah. You got to keep it short and sweet, man, on a Monday. What's everybody's mile time? How fast do you guys ever run a mile? And what do you think you could run if you ran one tomorrow? I don't fucking know. 7. If I ran a mile tomorrow, that's a great question. I actually always think about that. I think my best mile time ever was like 6:15 in like 8th grade. That's when you're best at the mile.
Yeah, my 8th grade time was like 6:30, but now I'm like, I think our track was too short.
Y'all are slow.
What was yours, Jack?
I was sub 6. I think I was hitting around like 5:52 when I was like 21 years old, probably.
Damn, respect it. You're running miles at 21. That's your issue, dude.
I was training for all kinds of shit, but when I
Training for all types of shit. None of them ever happened. I was training for. I just want to picture you. Not to say that nothing. Yeah, you were a paramedic. You did all types of cool shit.
I was yeah.
But I would like to do. You probably try to be MMA. Do you ever try to be an MMA fighter?
My elbow injury is pretty severe, so I think I always knew deep down that I was going to be like incredibly limited. So no, I never really had dreams of becoming an MMA fighter per se. It was more like I wrestled my whole life, so I just missed doing that kind of thing, I guess.
So I see.
It was actually, I was trying to enlist when I was young because I was a different human being then, and I was training aggressively.
Well, we need people to enlist, so let's
On me now.
think about it.
Now I'm an old man.
Think about it.
But for the record, if I was going to run a mile tomorrow and I was running it with the idea of trying to go as fast as possible, never having to run another mile again, knowing that it might retire me when my knee blows out. If I was trying to go as fast as I can, do I think I could do sub 6? To be honest, I think it would be harder than I think it would be because I haven't ran in years. I think that I think I could hit maybe 620, and I think my heart would pound out of my chest and my knee would be inflamed.
We should go take you out right now. It's about 95 degrees.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't want to do it, right?
You
But
got to do it.
I'm talking, I got Tommy Pham behind me. He's chasing me.
Do you think it's easier to run a mile in your like 20s, 30s than when you're 12, or is that like your best opportunity to do it? 'Cause I feel like,
I mean, it depends on who you are, but I would have blown my 12-year-old self out of the water, bro. I'm like twice as tall.
We got another thing we forgot to talk about. Ellie De La Cruz threw up on the field. This guy throws up on the field in the middle of a game, stays in the game, then hits a 435-foot home run the next inning or later that game. Absolutely, that's one of the most impressive feats ever. Do you ever throw up on the field and want to stay in the game? Not me. Like I usually throw up. Actually, it's true. Like you feel so sick and you throw up and you feel better immediately when you yak sometimes. Maybe he just pulled trig. But thoughts and prayers with Ellie De La Cruz. Hit a bomb after yakking.
The only other player I can think of right now who vomited on the field is his teammate, Hunter Green. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
A couple years ago?
Yeah. A guy throwing up on the field's always a funny little thing going on. What's going on, guys? Are you hungover? What the fuck? Who's throwing up on the field?
Hunter Green, former best pitcher in MLB.
Yeah, not anymore. He's hurt. But the Reds, dude, last episode we were talking about how the Reds are the hot AL Central team. They've like sucked dick ever since then. I think they were lost like 4 in a row until yesterday or something. Now they're in 4th place, Mitchell. Behind the Cardinals and the Brewers. The Brew Crew, who won 4 in a row, and we just kind of swept over them because they got Misiorowski. We got to come up with a nickname for that. That's really fucking me up. But Misiorowski.
Misiorowski?
Misiorowski.
We can just
But
call
I
him
don't-
the Rowski.
I don't know because the Brewers, the Brewers, the Broski. Is that what you said?
I said the Rowski, but I mean, yeah.
The Broski's good.
Rowski the Browski.
Broski the Broski. With the Brewers with Broski, to me, they seem way more legit than the other NL Central frauds. Like when the Cardinals won 12, you thought they were frauds. When the Reds got hot, you were like, okay, but what's really happening? But the Brewers, because they got that NPC energy where they're good no matter what kind of thing. Do you think they could compete with the Cubs?
So this next week, they're playing the Pirates and the Rockies.
Oh, bro.
So this is a great time for them to gain a lot of ground. And I also didn't realize how, like, many runs they scored against the Twins. They scored, 35 runs in their 3-game series against the Twins. Christian Yelich had, 8 RBIs in the first game and didn't score a single run.
Fucking shit, dude. Yeah, the Brewers, if you look at their next series, they got 3 out of their next 4 series are the Pirates, the Rockies, and then the Miami Marlins. You sandwich in the Dodgers and the Mets, but then they're playing the Nats. So 4 of their 6 series before the All-Star break are against 4 worst teams in baseball, probably record-wise. So hell yeah, I would not be shocked if they surpassed the Cubs by the All-Star break. The Cubs are a great team, best team in that division on paper, but they're not the Dodgers of the West, or they're not like the Tigers of the AL Central. They're not that much better than the Brewers. That's an interesting thing to look at. You would be surprised if you go into the All-Star break and the Cubs aren't in first. You'd say what? They choked. But the Brew Crew, man, 8 games over the Mendoza line, 4 in a row. They butt slapped the Twins. I mean, they did not just beat the Twins, sweep them. They swept them, and they swept 3-game series. They swept them, and they outscored them 45. Scored 45 runs in 3 games.
35.
All right, well, you're the fucking expert. God damn it. Why don't I just kill myself? Can't do anything right.
Outscored the Twins 35 to 14.
Drop in the comments if you think Mitchell's being an asshole to me today. He's been a dick all episode.
How was he when I was gone? Was he mean to you, Joey?
Just relentless.
No, because he was busy. He was doing 2 jobs, so he couldn't correct me. I was getting everything right. It was good. Now he's back, and he's like, no, actually 35. It's like, bro, you know I had a long weekend. It's my brother's bachelor party. My brother's getting married next month, dude. You're going to be a dick to me right now?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You come to me in the month of my brother's wedding.
But yeah, the Brewers are my favorite team in the NL Central. They're not my favorite team, but we have to give them a little respect because I know a lot of people say we don't respect the Central and then we talk shit about the Central and we give them too much grief. I disagree, but I will give the Brewers an ounce of respect right now.
I'm intrigued by this young J-Miz, J-Row, Mr. Broski.
Well, we already talked about him. We're talking about something else.
I like
now,
J-Miz. I think that's a good one.
J-Miz is fun,
J-Miz,
right?
that's a good one.
Is that it?
J-Miz.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Why is that a good one? Because his name is Jacob Misiorowski.
And it sounds like Les Mis.
Lemiz.
So it has like a familiar sound to it.
Lemiz. Which is what? What the fuck is Lemiz? The play?
The book and the play.
Okay.
But it has a familiar sound, you know?
It's like Lemiz, you know. J-Miz, like Lemiz. I don't know if anyone else thought that.
Are you talking Shakespeare?
No.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Le Miserable.
Just bring us to another fan question. Question for Jack. Read any good books lately? No.
Did you read Les Mis?
Why'd you fucking censor him? He said Happy Juneteenth to start that. You don't want to
because
piece of shit.
I was going out of order. You Happy Juneteenth to you, Shooter by Choppa. Happy Happy Juneteenth to you as well, and to everyone really. And no, I haven't read a book in about 12 years, probably.
I think this question's really funny because Jack's never given any indication of being an avid reader.
No, I think actually I'm taking shots by Shooter.
You think he's
He
making
got
fun
shot
of
by
you?
Shuda.
I think one look at me and he goes, "This motherfucker can't read."
He's from Florida. He's a straight up dumbass. Not you, Shooter. I'm talking about Jack. But yeah. But yeah, let's wrap it up. Anything else?
I missed you guys. I'm talking to the fans, of course, not Mitch and Joey. They're actually kind of rude.
We already found out you made fake accounts and commented on the video.
Joey already turned the comments against you. They started commenting, "Get off of your burner, Jack." Any comments that were positive.
Yeah, I know Jack's IP address. Anyone wants it, just hit me up. I will send it to you. If you guys have a thing that can DDoS him and take his internet down, I will support that, but just make sure that's after we get the podcast uploaded and everything like that. And then we can take we can fry his router. It'd be like a funny prank for the podcast. Or SWAT him. If you find Jack's address, call the FBI, call the cops, tell him that he has his girlfriend tied up and he's going to murder her.
Come on, man.
It's a funny prank.
That's too much.
Let's do swatting. Let's swat the producer.
Here's the thing, dude.
The new segment of podcast doesn't exist. SWAT the producer.
I get a lot of support in these comments. I don't think they're on
Let's
your side.
ruin Jack's life. I know where he lives. Just hit me up. I can DM you. And we can get that going for next episode, hopefully. And until then, see you guys. No, Jack, I'm not really going to swat you, bro. I was kidding.